Hey, all right. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to episode 5 of the recently named Two Dudes, One Cast.
What's
My name is
up?
Jake,
I'm Paul.
and today we actually have a special guest host. Say hello to everyone while you do your makeup.
Hi,
Hi, this is Julie. Introduce yourself.
I'm Julie, Paul's sister, living in Vegas. What up to all my Michigan peeps listening in?
Yeah, so we're Skyping with Julie right now. So after a few...
Sweet.
Yeah, so after a few tests, it's looking like the sound quality will turn out okay.
Sorry for anybody who has headphones and anytime Julie speaks.
Okay, you talk just as loud, so
She's
which
also
isn't true, but whatever.
she's also giving us like 20% right now. She's doing her makeup, so
I'm giving you 100%.
yeah.
Like 100% is given.
I don't
right
know if you can call doing that makeup. It looks like she's brushing the side of a fucking house.
That's her
now.
face,
It's
Paul.
You're getting in all the lines.
Is that a spoon?
You know?
What the fuck is that?
It's a little brush. It's awesome.
Also, well, I guess for everybody too, who's just tuning into the podcast, or if you have been a part of us, we actually we're not live streaming, but we are streaming.
We're recording.
Yeah, we're recording this. So that will be
Video-wise.
up on YouTube. We're going to try and use that as our main platform. Shout out to everybody who's been listening to us on SoundCloud. You guys have been our biggest following. We love you guys, and we're not going to go off SoundCloud, but we're going to try to go to YouTube and use that as our main. But SoundCloud will be there. Every week we'll have our new episodes updated.
For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so the way we're going to do it this week, since we have a third person with us rather than 2 topics each, we each brought an individual topic, so we will be doing 3 topics. One from myself, one from Paul, and one from Julie,
Ooh.
which Julie's a scaredy cat, so she doesn't want to go first, so...
I'm not a scaredy cat. I just want your guys' ideas to be brought to light first because I feel that your ideas are so important.
Oh, well, that's nice of you, but I'm going last.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I guess...
So, Paul, that's you.
Yeah, Paul's gonna start the show, so...
Alright, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about tonight, which it kind of a little bit got covered a little bit this year, was like celebration penalties in football.
Okay, so, I don't know about our listening base, but I'm not really up to date in professional sports, so you'll have to give me something to run with here. So, like, I know you can't, like, have a fucking tea party in the end zone when you score, right? Or
Well,
that
actually-
was the rule?
That was the rule,
But
and
they
so...
changed.
All right. Yeah, you can chime in too, Julie. It's it's kind of we just bounce back and forth off each other. No, you don't have to apologize. I was saying you can chime in.
You can speak.
Well, because that's the thing. So because, like, whatever it is, for the last couple of years, you weren't able to do anything. And it's
Pretty much.
stupid because they fined $10,000 if they did. I'm pretty sure it was something crazy like that. If they went into the stands or every time they gave a ball, and it's like it's ridiculous because the guy who scored a touchdown. They're these athletes. They should be excited that they did something good, that they got a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I actually couldn't agree more. That's kind of why I brought this up. So, over the past couple of years, there's been really bad celebration penalties, and that comes with fines, too. Typically, the fine was about, like, anywhere from $7,000 to, like, $20,000 for whatever the infraction was.
$20,000. That's like almost what I'm making. Dude. That's just ridiculous.
Seriously, and this dude got it for, like, humping in the air.
So okay, all right. So that's for the NFL. Is that like your main celebration topic, or are you talking like celebration in like other sports as well?
So, I wanted to do NFL and then college as, like, the subtopic underneath.
Okay, so it is football though.
Football, yes.
All right, because I know there's like soccer and stuff. They have like the screaming announcers who do the go.
Yes,
And they go
absolutely.
for like 10 minutes, and the guys run around and do backflips and shit. Like I don't know what the rules are for that. I should probably.
Well, okay, that's actually a super good point, Jake. Because if you think about it, in professional soccer, the athletes can take off their shirts. Even the women can, So they just have their sports bra, walk across half the field, spread all the way on the knees, and they don't get fined for it. But the athletes want to do a funny dance, these football players, and they're getting fined for it. It's stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, soccer is a more world-renowned sport, I guess, and the NFL is, honestly, I think it's a bunch of overpaid clowns. Quote me on that. Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're thinking other sports too, obviously I'm such a huge hockey fan, and like the hockey sellies are some of my favorite things in the world.
I think
to
my
watch.
favorite ones, like I like hockey too, but I think my favorite ones are like the horrible luck celebrations. Like a dude will score a goal and then he'll jump into one of the glass panes and just shatter it and just go straight through. You ever seen any of those videos? Oh my god, it's just horror.
Oh, it's just incredible what that they can do. So, what I was doing a little bit of research into this, and I was coming up with, obviously, so that they changed it for 2017. So, what they did change for 2017 is you as a person celebrating, you can do group celebrations now, which was illegal in 2016. You can also go to the ground. So I guess in 2016, like if you went down or laid down on the ground, that was a penalty. And now that's not.
Laying down was a penalty?
Yeah, like if you went like on the field, like if you laid down or like took a nap or something, because like some guys did that was a penalty.
Okay.
That's stupid.
And then also the ball as a prop was previously
so
illegal.
like with the dudes who do like the bowling pin
Yes,
thing?
exactly.
Man, they got pretty detailed about that shit.
Oh yeah.
And this was the NFL.
This is the NFL. So still illegal for 2017. You cannot dunk through the goalpost. And any sexually suggested acts are a penalty, as well as anything violent or representing violence. So an example of this was one of the Redskins players last year pulled out, he faked like a bow and arrow, like a
Of course he did.
$15,000 fine.
At least he didn't like imitate like scalping or something.
Yeah.
You know, just like whip out a little straight razor and just run it across his head.
Yeah. So what I kind of wanted to bring up was
What's that?
go.
No, I was just gonna say that. I mean, even then, though, like you're allowing something, but then you're making so many rules on it that it's not fun anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna get into something like that, like I don't find watching it fun anymore because I mean the most I know about the NFL players is which ones beat their wives on TV. I mean, if we really want to focus on fines and shit, we should, go after the players for. It's probably for spousal abuse and just being worthless individuals. Not all of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
But close.
I'm looking at you, Ray Rice.
Stare.
I mean, these.
But what were you gonna say, Paul?
So the college actually, or the NCAA, if you will, has not adapted these new rules, and they actually said firmly, like, no, we will not be adapting this because we do not want to see that on the field. Which I thought was kind of disappointing because I feel college football has a lot more emotion in it.
They have more reason to celebrate, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not for a paycheck that they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like, look, Mom, I did it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, let them sell it.
I mean,
Which I was super disappointed about.
yeah, but
Well, I guess we should kind of look at it as, why do we think, like, I guess we could play a devil's advocate. Why do you even think that the NCAA or the NFL is saying you can't? Like, what are the reasons? Like, do you think that they think it's taken away from the team aspect and putting too much, attention on one single player for doing what he did? Or because you could argue that, wide receiver ran in the touchdown, got the ball from the quarterback, and the quarterback was able to throw the ball because the center's blocked. So it's like, are they saying that the celebration from the one guy, it's not only him, so that's why it shouldn't be centered around him? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a lot more simple than that. I imagine it's something to do with they don't feel like wasting their time watching you do a fucking Irish jig after scoring 6 points, you know? Because if someone celebrated every time they scored, like, can you imagine if the kickers, like, just broke into, like, a fucking line dance every time they put one through the uprights? I mean, the Lions games would go for, like, 6 hours.
That's true.
I mean, our kicker would have to learn some fucking moves.
They're like you.
Fucking Prater.
Yeah.
I hate sober Prater, though. I like drunk Prater more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Fucking
think we
doing
lost Julie.
doing some shots, kicking a 60-yarder.
Uh-oh, did we lose her?
What?
Oh, no, she's just doing her makeup still. Sorry. Glad you
I'm
take
here.
this seriously. Yeah.
This is gonna sound so loud on the podcast when we review it.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so-
You will
I'm
literally
trying not to talk too loud. I'm sorry.
no, like all the other stuff you're doing. It's so funny when you listen back
you're
to it.
like,
It's gonna
you're
be
like
so
clicking and popping and snapping and creaking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
loud. Well, your topic's up next, Miss. Don't
Yeah.
want to talk.
Yeah. So,
Are we done with your topic? Cool.
wow. So nice.
Everybody feel that shade?
Yeah. Damn.
No, I thought you had more to say, but if you don't, that's fine. So I kind of wanted to go along with, I guess, the athletic field, and I have always been really interested in the concept of college athletes being paid or not, because it's such a big concept, you know, like, should they get paid because they're such top quality guys, and most of them, you know, that top tier that you're looking at, you know, are gonna most of the time go on to the NFL anyways, so they're gonna start getting paid. So could you? So I see the arguments to both sides, but I have a strong argument. But I wanted to see kind of what you guys thought before I put mine out there.
Well, I
You know?
kind of before I inject my own opinion, yours is that they should get paid. Is that what you're saying?
No, they should not.
They should not. Now, here's my thoughts. If that is the case, if that's fair, then you should not be able to charge for merchandise with their names on it. That's my
Okay,
thoughts.
see, now next step to that is also very dependent on the college, though, because some colleges have the athlete's name on the back and some colleges don't. So do you regulate just not allowing colleges to have names on the back if that's the issue you have, or do you not? Okay, so my biggest issue here is I get that you're selling merchandise and you're making money off of, you know,
A name that doesn't
these-
belong to you.
Well, okay, yeah, that's arguable though. When they signed a contract to come and play for Michigan football, they came to play, which means, especially if they're on a scholarship, means they're getting their entire collegiate education paid for, and the average college education for out of state, especially if they're out of state and not in state, can be anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000 for a state school. So they're getting that paid for free. They're getting a stipend for all their books, which on average ranges from $500 to $1,000 per semester. They're getting their food cared for, which is on-campus housing. They also get stipends to go home, money that they can use to pay for plane tickets to go back home, but also money that they can use to buy their own gear. Now, I could not find the information on Michigan specifically if we want to talk about a big school, but UNLV here, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, it's a D1 school, but it's not one of the higher ranked D1 schools, and the collegiate athletes here get a stipend of $500 per collegiate athlete to go home and literally do whatever they want to, and that's not including all their other expenses that they're getting covered as well. So you want to say they're getting to get paid, but they're already getting so much stuff. They get brand new shoes, backpacks, full gear every single year, the top quality. Most of these schools are sponsored by Nike, so they're getting the best quality gear, and they literally get money to spend to do whatever they want with it.
Sorry, I was just laughing about you saying
About the
Nike's the
Nike,
best
yeah.
quality gear. I was like, yeah.
Well, but I mean, as a top quality gear, they're not getting.
Yeah,
a
well,
Target
they're
brand tennis
getting a top brand.
Nothing bad with Target, but you know what I'm saying.
But yeah,
I mean, I
like,
feel.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think I agree on both sides. I think a college athlete. I mean, obviously the institution is making. We're talking more money than Jesus.
So-
I mean, probably the only more money would be Disney.
I actually do know one college football program statistic because I've worked on that campus, and that is Michigan State University. Their
Ugh.
college football program just each season takes in $80 million is what I was told, which is more than every student's tuition combined.
Wow.
So 80 million.
Which
That
when
is
it's
the number of how much money the
just the football
is making.
program alone, just the football program alone,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm kind of like I'm kind of like I kind of disagree with you about the athletes shouldn't get paid, but I get where you're coming from, where you're saying like they pretty much do already, but maybe like turn it into some sort of salary where it's like, hey, we'll give you this much monthly allowance to put towards that or this or the other thing, and that way they could argue that, you know, selling merchandise with their names on it, if they do that or not, or like, you know, showcasing their pictures in the stadiums and whatnot, that the athletes actually get a cut of it. And, you know, you say that the players get pretty much everything handed to them for free, but, you know, there are like the second string players who probably don't have a full ride to that college, so they have to pay out of pocket for their tuition and books and whatnot, versus the guys who got scouted from, you know, across the country. That's just my
Next
thoughts.
step with that, though, too, you could always argue, though, that the second and third string is not getting their merchandise bought. You know what I mean? Someone's
Right.
not going and buying,
Right, but
you
it's
know,
it's
Joe Smith merchandise over the starting quarterback.
Hey, I
you know
fucking
what I mean?
love Joe Smith. That outside tackle.
right, but
Yeah, he is like the shit of the shit.
but at the same time, it's these guys dedicate the same amount of time to be there for the game if they're needed. And I'm not saying
True.
they should be paid the same amount as the players who are first string, who are in the actual games, but they at least need some sort of incentive, especially if you're going to be selling them as a franchise. And that's what college football is it's, you know, extremely expensive viewership. Like, I don't know how much a season pass is for any team, but I can't imagine that it's anything
Costly.
under than fucking $500, $600, $700 if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah.
Well, that's the next thing too, though. If you turn back and look at it too, again, looking at Michigan football, because you could argue that Michigan football is one of the top 5 football programs in history of all college football and just in general today. But
Not today. I'm gonna say I don't
No,
think
it still
they're
is though. If you look at their program as a whole, I'm not talking about their record. I'm not talking about whatever. I'm talking about the program and what it's done from its history. It's one of the top 5 histories
Yeah,
of college
yeah,
football.
okay,
You can argue that up and down till Sunday.
No, I'll get on
That's
board
a
with
whole
that.
other discussion though. But so these college, especially a school like Michigan, who does rank in probably more than Michigan State, but we'll just go off of that number. This $80 million a year from collegiate. That $80 million is not sitting there. It's not like, hey, we have $80 million. Let's just spread out this $80 million to everyone. This $80 million is what goes into their top tier facilities. It's what goes into these sponsorships. It's what goes into keeping the big house the big house. It's the reason when Ohio State built another layer to their stadium to make it bigger to Michigan, Michigan said, F you, we're going to build another one to make it bigger than yours. There's a reason for all that. And so I want to so badly say, hey, these athletes, because that's what they are. It doesn't matter if they're collegiate or professional.
Yeah.
These athletes that work day in and day out to be the best of the best to get to where they're at. I'm not saying that they don't deserve to get paid, but the fact of the matter is they signed up for this. The reason that they picked Michigan over Michigan State as an example is because of what Michigan is going to be able to do for them, or what they feel Michigan is going to be able to do for them, for the name, for their history, for their facilities, for the coordinators that they have. If you're a defensive player, there's a good chance you want to go to Michigan because they have one of the top 10 defenses in the country. So you're going there and you pick it based off all these things. You're not going there because, well, they're going to pay me $10,000, but they're only going to give me a $5,000 salary. And again, how would you break that up? How in the hell could you figure out how much the quarterback's going to get paid? How much? Because look at this. Wilton Speet, he was going to be our starting quarterback. He was going to get everything going. He got hurt. Okay, so we put in our second string because he was going to be great. He played like crap. O'Korn just didn't live up to his expectations. So now we're down to our third string, who has arguably been doing pretty well for us the last couple of weeks and is probably going to finish off for us in the end of the year. But what? He's only getting paid a quarter of what Wilton Speet was because that's what was determined at the beginning of the year. There's so many factors that come into play that would make it unfair, that would make it difficult, that I think is the reason from the very beginning when these scholarships and when things started to come out that they didn't pay them. And I think that's why the concept of scholarships started, to help people pay for it like they're getting something. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just why
Well, I imagine they'd
feel
have to
very strongly about it.
do like a salary cap or something, obviously, kind of like the pros.
I mean,
But
yeah.
you know,
at
even in
that
the
point.
pros, last year, fucking Tony Romo was out for the whole season. You think their backup quarterback had the same fucking salary as him for that year? I'm gonna
No,
give
what?
that a fucking. What the hell is that dude's name?
Dak
Dak
Prescott.
Dak Prescott. How much you think he made last season, and he played all season, and Romo watched from the bench? I bet it wasn't as much as Romo made.
no, and that's my point. It's not. So
It's a individually determined salary that they could determine it every year and base it upon seniority, probably,
Or performance.
Okay.
or performance, or both.
I would say probably more performance over seniority.
And I'm not talking these guys are going to be getting millions of dollars, but like some sort of kickback, especially because of all the merchandising that involves their names and faces. Like when you see them on TV, when you watch your NCAA games, and you see all your boys pop up, you know, they got their name, their number of tackles, yada yada. You hear about them, you see them on TV. Like, why do they not get a kickback there?
Well, when I cheerleaded for Bentley University in Waltham, Massachusetts, we were a club sport. We weren't even. It was categorized under as a club sport. We still had to sign a contract with the school because it has to do with injuries and all that. And the contract says we have every right to take pictures of you, use those photos for whatever information within the university, and blah blah blah. And about a year into me cheerleading there, I got an email from one of them that the alumni postcard that was going out for homecoming weekend was a picture of me on the front. I had no idea about it, but it's just you sign the contract.
I would
and I
love
would
to
have
see
to
that
imagine
picture.
that every other person signed it too. So yeah, their stuff is in the billboard.
I
Yeah, they're in
guarantee
the stadium.
she
They
has it
signed
all
the
over the
contract
place.
for it.
Who's the guy got to
What?
Who's the guy got to fucking pay to see that picture?
It was actually a great picture, so I was
Oh,
really happy because it was
It's going on our Instagram. It's going on the Instagram. Two
Yeah,
dudes, one.
there we go.
Two dudes, one cat.
Right next to your picture with Will Smith.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
yeah, before and after.
Oh, yes.
my picture with what?
No one. Nothing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. What's your
If
topic?
You said the Will Smith.
What's
one,
your
we're
topic?
done.
So, is that it for you, Julie?
Yeah, because I could go on all day.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys told me your topics, and they were pretty much athletic. So I decided to, in lieu of that, I went along, and I decided to do a sports topic.
Oh, okay.
So I did the most obscure sports, which there's a ton of them, and I couldn't. I
Are you
obviously,
ESPN, the Ocho?
Yeah. Call me Peppa Brooks. But I looked up. There's just tons and tons of them, which I wanted to do them all, but I picked out 3 that I thought sounded pretty entertaining. So the first one I found is called chess boxing, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's
Now, Kith.
chess, but also has boxing. So it's it actually, I found all the information on their fucking website, which is worldchessboxingorganization.org, or sorry, WCBO.org, but that's what it stands for. And I swear to God, I
Getting
watched
so many hits from my podcast right now.
I watched the 3rd World Championship on YouTube, and it looks honestly like if you're good at chess and boxing, then this is probably your sport. You know, it's like you start with a round of chess that goes for about 3 minutes, and then they ring the bell, and you guys throw the gloves on and beat the shit out of each other. And then that goes for 3 minutes, and then you go back to playing chess. And honestly, it sounds exhausting because it's like, great, I'm
Well-
semi-conscious after getting my nose punched down my throat, and now I have to figure out how to take his queen. But yeah, that was a pretty entertaining sounding sport. It looked really fucking boring to watch, though. And by looked, I mean it was really fucking boring to watch. Because they're just like sitting there, they're like playing chess and everything. And I'm like, all right, see these guys fight and they're chess players. So, you know.
Super beefy.
So, I mean, one of them was, man. One was like a cop and the other was like a fucking college student, so. The cop lost.
Oh.
It was a Russian college student, so let's be honest, dude. So the other one, and you gotta forgive me, I'm probably gonna butcher the name of this. I'm a huge volleyball fanatic. You know, I play a ton and everything, and I found one.
I do. Maybe our audience does not.
Yeah, okay, well, the audience, take note. I'm a huge volleyball fan. I play all the time, and I found this sport. It's called, and God help me, I'm going to destroy this name. It's Sepak Takraw, or kick volleyball. And it's volleyball with your feet.
I've seen videos of that before.
Like, this is shit. They're actually trying to, there's like an organization in Southeast Asia that's trying to campaign to get this added to the Olympics.
Nice.
So it's like a...
Okay, but
Go ahead.
have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched a match. It was intense.
It is so intense. Like, I don't know how they
Wait,
do it.
did you
First
play
of all-
volleyball?
Yes.
Oh.
That's rude.
Yeah, so...
No, our audience doesn't know that you've played. It's a legitimate question.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
yes. I played volleyball for years, but we watched this in high school, and it is literally so intense, and the guys are fucking bomb. They're like so good.
Like,
It's
straight
crazy.
up backflip kicks to spike the ball. I'm not
Yeah.
shitting you. Every single one, too.
Right.
And, like, guys jump up and over the net to block with their feet and ass. It's ridiculous. So,
I mean, if I'm blocking anything, my ass is definitely
well, a couple of the
blocking it.
rules, it's a 3-on-3. And I guess it's a 5-foot net. You can use any part of your body but your hands.
Shit, I'm almost taller than the net.
And the one difference that I saw, well, one of the many differences I saw is a single person can actually hit the ball multiple times in a row.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
Is there not like a max hit count, or is there still? But
it's 3 hits.
So it's still
as far as I
3,
could tell.
but there's
it was
multiple.
Still 3
okay,
hits.
okay.
Yeah, I did as much as I could trying to research it, but I didn't find all the rules, obviously.
Right.
But there's over 20 countries that have like national associations to play this sport.
America?
I doubt it. I mean, the amount of flexibility and just athleticism required to be a part of this sport, I cannot imagine. But, alright, so that one was awesome. But the last one I found was, again, forgive me for my pronunciation. It's a lot shorter. I think it's pronounced Tejo, or Tejo. It is the national sport of Colombia, and basically what it sounds like is a combination of beer, explosives, and frisbees.
Well, that's the
What?
most American thing
Yeah,
I've
so-
ever heard of in my life.
So basically the idea of this sport is something akin to horseshoes, but from what I read, I didn't get a chance to watch one of the games.
Right.
Basically, they have this box that's about 1 meter square, and there's gunpowder triangles all packed inside of it, and they try and chuck this steel disc into it. And if you get it to explode, you get points for it. And you drink the whole time.
I love all of
That
this.
is like that is like I feel like that shit could be big in the southern U.S. Like seriously.
Let's just say U.S. at this
well,
point.
Well, yeah, okay, well,
Explosions, beer.
yeah, explosions, beer, Murica, like holy shit, this sport sounds ridiculous and totally not dangerous for kids. Which, by the way, there are kids leagues
Obviously.
in Colombia.
Obviously.
But yeah, so one of the biggest rules that I found was like pretty much every Tejo place, it's free to play,
Okay.
but the losers have to buy the beer.
Oh.
See, I like this even more because I'm a competitive asshole. So that, yes. All of the yes.
But yeah, I just like...
That's hard, though, because how much beer are you drinking?
I don't know. I mean, if we're talking me, then a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And if we're
So
talking...
we got
and
upper echelon,
if we're talking
medium
AIM...
echelon, Julie, bottom echelon.
Yeah, if we're talking AIM, too, that's another thing I don't really possess, so...
Yeah.
I guess... Well, I mean, I don't know how much U.S. dollars convert to in Colombia, but hopefully a good amount because I'd be broke after one day playing that game. But yeah, so those are
what
those
is
are a few
America
sports.
money to Colombia money?
Well, I mean, like the conversion.
Isn't it a... No, I'm not going to say that.
No, pesos is Mexico. I know you were gonna say pesos, weren't you?
Well, but I didn't know if that was only Mexico or if it was South America.
Actually, the Philippines
I'm
use.
not trying to be stupid.
Well, the Philippines use pesos as well.
You don't
so.
have to try.
That's what I thought.
But anyway, so yeah, those are the three I researched the most. But I have to give a quick shout out because it is Michigan. The obscure sport I found for Michigan was porta potty racing, and we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Amazing.
That's about it.
So it's everybody's favorite listener time of the night when we go into the Would You Rathers.
Oh yeah, your dad's gonna hate me for another week.
So the Would You Rather is one of the favorite podcast portions where we ask, typically I would ask Jake would ask me, Would You Rather, and we would explain. We also send it out on our Instagram as well as our Facebook, so if the fans want to interact with us, send us there. We appreciate you guys. So for this week, we've kind of changed it up. So one Would You Rather is actually going out to two different people. So it's going to be fantastic.
So yeah, each of us has our own Would You Rather, and the other two are going to have to answer to the best of their abilities. And so we discuss our topics, but we don't discuss our Would You Rathers because I like to just come up with very bizarre circumstances so that I can blindside people, which Paul's been pretty stoic, but I think Julie's not going to be able to save face.
I like that.
Shit. Okay.
I have many things to... Oh, so I'll start off because Jake always... He's got the fire. I'm kind of the more mild, and we don't know what our guest is going to do. So to Julie and to Jake... So my Would You Rather is a little bit of a conundrum, especially for the amazingness that we are of hearing everything in today. So my Would You Rather is, for the rest of your life,
Oh God.
you have control over one or the other. So visually seeing something, so that is TV, internet, any video or whatever that you can see. You can choose to watch it. So if you want to watch a Lions game, if you want to watch Alabama football, if you want to watch American Idol, you can see that.
Just like anywhere at any time?
Anywhere, anytime. So this is your life.
So I could just like...
No. So like whatever you pick. So like if you went on your computer and you typed American Idol, you would see American Idol. On the contrary, so if I went to go to a song, 21 Pilots Ride, I would get 21 Pilots Ride. So the Would You Rather is... If you were to enter into a visual, it would be random, but you could choose music exactly what you wanted, or the opposite.
So basically, whatever you're looking for to watch, you
Yes.
get that immediately, versus whatever you're looking for to hear, you get that immediately.
Yes, but so if you pick one, the other is completely random.
So if I choose like a TV, if I choose for vision, then I'll be like, oh, I want to watch fucking whatever, Star Wars or something.
Yes.
And then I'll be like, but I want to hear, fucking Volbeat. And then they'll just be like, did you mean Vols beating each other?
Yes.
Oh, that's awful.
Or you could be like, I want to listen to Rise Against the Machine, and then what come on is
Rise
Blake
Against
Shelton.
the Machine? You mean Rage Against the Machine?
There's a band out there called Rise Against the Machine. For
No, there's
sure.
there's
There is.
Rise Against and Rage Against the Machine.
There's billions of bands out there. There's definitely a Rise
Rise
Against.
Against the Machine. They just kind of like put Savior with Bulls on Parade.
All right, so that's you. What would you pick?
Oh, I get to go first?
Oh yeah.
Sound for sure.
Okay.
Like I've often had the conversation with people where Wow, dude, we are still filming.
Woo!
All right, so I've often had the conversation with people like, would you rather go deaf or blind? And I'd sooner go blind because I like music too much. And if I could never find the music I'm looking for, I would just go fucking crazy.
I agree.
Wow.
How about you?
See, that's tough because I am such like a movie person, and I guess you could say TV, and like I'm such a movie buff, and I love, and I love music, but I think I would have to go, but because I think I'm such a movie buff, I watched 2 weeks ago, I watched a 3-hour French movie that was completely in subtitles, and it was awesome. You know what I mean? So I can watch a lot of different things.
Don't know what you mean.
No, I mean I can. So I would have to choose music so that I could pick what music I want, and then whatever video would come up, because I can deal with watching what's just there.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate your opinions.
All right, yeah, that was a good question. Honestly,
It was.
it would suck either way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
totally.
just-
Though.
Yeah.
It's just music is way more crucial to my life. Driving to work, being at work and stuff. I can't
Same.
watch Netflix while I'm doing
Same.
electrical work.
Same.
Well, just imagine being at the gym and Frank Sinatra comes on.
Hey now,
Yeah.
don't insult my boy.
When I need to get that fucking power set.
Hey, I like Frank Sinatra.
I love Frank Sinatra. I can listen to Frank Sinatra all day long. But at the gym, it's a little bit hard to listen. Come fly with me, come fly, let's fly away.
Also, please never sing again. Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, was that "Fly Me to the Moon"?
Yeah.
It was Come Fly With Me.
Oh,
But
No. Okay. All right.
I like "Fly Me to the Moon" better.
All right. So, are we finishing with you or our guest?
Oh, let's go, Julie, please.
of course, because you just could say, okay. Would you rather, this one's really
I
interesting,
never finished.
think.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather never have internet access again
Okay.
for the rest of your life,
Okay.
or never be able to take an airplane anywhere again?
Internet.
Really?
No, I need internet, so I wouldn't do the flying.
I can drive.
Yeah.
I
I
got
wouldn't do the
legs.
flying.
But what if you want to travel the world? What if you want to? Because I mean, we didn't have internet for
I'm
years
fucking-
upon years.
I ain't Tom Cruise. I ain't getting fucking stranded on an island. I'll take a boat.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, just the amount of disaster movies he's been in. Seriously, what is he, Sully and then Castaway and shit? Honestly, if I was on an aircraft or some sort of personnel carrying
You mean
device.
Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks.
That's what I said, Tom Hanks.
No, you said Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Oh, well, I still wouldn't want to be on something with him. Sorry, Tom Hanks.
I was like, we're not talking about Scientology.
No, it's still, you know what? I think I'd honestly kill myself if I was on a cruise with Tom Cruise.
Hey.
Tom Hanks, though.
Yeah.
I just feel like him as
Dude,
a
have
travel
you seen
partner.
his son, the rapper?
Tom Hanks or Cruise?
Hanks.
His son's a rapper?
Yeah.
Was it the one who was
boy.
acting?
Self-alleged.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, no, I haven't.
It's amazing.
Honestly, though, yeah, I'll take internet over flight any day.
100%.
Which, fun fact about flight, I just told Paul this earlier. You're more likely to get killed by a donkey than in a plane crash.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just hope you learned something.
That's true.
I did.
All right, baby. Finish us strong.
All
I
right.
hate your fucking shit-eating grin.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna build you a picture first. So for an exceptionally large monetary value for this day and age, let's say $1 billion or whatever,
That's pretty good.
would you rather wrestle an untamed grizzly bear with your bare hands,
Okay.
or have a no holds barred single combat cage match with the late great Bruce Lee? They cannot kill you. There will be hospitals ready to take you in. There's no guarantee how long the coma will last or anything of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you rather do?
What? How? Say the first part about the bear again.
Wrestle an untamed grizzly bear with your bare hands. Your bare hands. Bear puns.
I would take the grizzly bear for 2 reasons. 3 reasons.
Lay it on me.
Reason number 1. I'd kick the bear's ass. Reason number 2. We don't know how big the grizzly bear is. So it could be a grizzly bear that had a growing malfunction in its body, and so it was really, really small. So I could be
Okay, well, let's just say it's a full-grown normal grizzly bear.
Let's not specify.
Okay.
Reason
Sorry, change the rules.
Reason number 3. I'm scared of Bruce Lee. So.
More scared than a grizzly bear.
Yes, because I could. Did you not hear reason number 1?
Yeah.
So it's just.
You could kick a bear's
kick his
ass.
I'm obviously going Bruce Lee.
What the?
Really? Alright, now explain your reasoning.
He's a fucking man.
Are you sure?
Not a grizzly fucking bear.
You're
You
just
don't know
wrestling
if
the
you're
grizzly.
Hair. I am a 5'0" small Asian man in a white body. I do not need to fight anything giantly more massive than me.
Fucking dude, it's all about leverage.
Yeah.
Alright, this is one where I will actually chime in with what I would do. I would honestly wrestle the grizzly bear over Bruce
That's what I'm
Lee.
saying.
Because, 1, Bruce Lee is a person. He knows parts that hurt more. And Bruce Lee is not a person because that dude's a fucking animal. Like, have you heard about some of the shit he could do?
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with... This dude could do 1 thumb push-ups, Paul.
Yeah.
I bet he would kill a grizzly bear in seconds with his bare hands.
I don't think so.
He could also
think-
sidekick, like, you know the punching bags you get or whatever? What are those, like, the 80 pounds or something? You fucking hang them from your ceiling? He could sidekick one into the fucking ceiling. Just, wah!
I mean, it's already
And he'd
in
do
the
his
ceiling.
fucking crazy scream. Wah! You know?
Yeah. Have you heard a grizzly bear growl?
I've seen the Jungle Book. Of course I have. But
What if it is a small grizzly bear?
But either way, you can't
Grizzly
die.
bear.
I just feel like there'd be permanent damage, well, with either of them, honestly. But Bruce Lee, I feel like, he'd just make sure you never walk again. Grizzly bear, you have a
Totally.
chance. I mean, as long as you keep its mouth shut, maybe it just rips your arm off or something. Bruce Lee, he paralyzes
can't reach
you.
its fucking mouth.
If you're wrestling it, you climb on that fucker's back, put him in a sleeper hold.
All right, George fucking Saint Pierre.
You get the dinosaur, and you put the dinosaur in a.
I don't know what that was, but
I'll show you later.
okay.
Anyways, so before we sign off, because it was really great to be a guest on the show today, but I feel like I
Sounds
need
so
to set
enthused.
some records straight. Paul told a story about how he went to go see a movie, and it was Halloween 3, which, for all of you that don't know about the movie, it's a pretty bad Halloween movie. But, it's scary, it's bad, it's typical, So we go to this movie. Now, the key thing is, we always try and go see scary movies because every single one of us in our friend group likes scary movies, except for Paul. Except every single time we never got to go see them because for some weird reason the one person out of the group that didn't like them got us spent. So we made him go one time. He didn't have a choice. So he buys a 5th of Captain Morgan, okay? I don't know what alcohol he said it was, but it wasn't. It was Captain Morgan. By the time we walk across the street into the movie theater, he had literally drank 3/4 of this 5th. I am not joking. He was downing this alcohol, and I can see his face right now, and he knows it. He was so wasted. So we went and saw this movie on the premiere weekend. It was a Friday night. Every single seat was taken in this movie theater. So it wasn't like, hey, there was 4 of us in the movie theater. It was 200 people in there, okay? So we're sitting there watching the movie, and through the previews, I don't even remember the movie at the time because it was years ago, but I'm pretty sure it was Zac Efron that was in the thing. So the movie comes on, and he's like, "Dude, that guy's so gay!" And we all just kind of sit there, and we're like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. The movie hasn't even started yet." He's yelling in the previews. So we're like, "Okay, this is gonna be great." So then the movie starts, and he's actually pretty chill. You know what I mean? He's like making snark comments here and there, but he really wasn't talking that much. And there was that lady there who was going just as loud as him. But so there's this one scene in the movie, okay, where the scene comes up and it's like a hill in the distance, and so it's a panoramic view, and so it starts to come back, and like the shot is coming back, and it's like almost black and white. They're trying to make it dramatic, and the bad guy comes up on the top of the hill, and he's like standing there all whatever, and then he brings up his machete super slowly, you know, and then he proceeds to come down to kill the guy. Okay, this scene was really dramatic though, and lasts a really long time. So he brings up the machete as the machete is as he's bringing the machete up, Paul's like, holy shit! Dude, what the He stands up out of his seat. Are you guys fucking seeing this? He's fucking killing shit. And this entire movie theater busts out laughing. People just lose it. And we are so embarrassed because this little white boy won't shut up.
Oh, Paul, you're an awful storyteller. I'm about to replace you with your sister.
Just going off. And I think people literally started clapping when we got him down in a chokehold because he wouldn't sit down.
Wow.
A little different than I remember.
I can't imagine why.
Second note, though, I do have to comment because he says that's really the only other time. Paul had to walk out of a Paranormal Activity movie with his girlfriend back in the day because he couldn't take it. So let's just let that sit there.
Hey, we didn't really need to bring that up. That wasn't...
Yeah, well, I mean, I escorted him through a corn maze, so...
That's true.
Jake's
I just want the truth to be out. I want people to know the truth.
You're like, I want people to know my brother's a bitch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is
Quite
great.
Even though he said it, and he's been pretty straightforward and open about it, he just doesn't remember because he was wasted.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah. Glad we could get this on the table, Paul. I really like that part about you standing up and screaming. Are you guys fucking seeing this? I'm gonna do that next time I'm at the movies.
There you go.
I'll just go to the next fucking live action Disney movie. I'll be like, are you guys fucking seeing this shit?
Elsa is the shit.
It'll be when they make the live action Lion King.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'll stand up when Scar kills Mufasa. I'll be like, are you guys fucking seeing this shit? And I'll look at all the kids in the horror in their eyes. I'll be like, he's fucking dead. Like, James Earl Jones dies in everything.
True. Well, that has been quite a cast.
Yeah. Longest yet.
Yeah.
I'm
We
sorry,
say that
guys,
every
I talk too
episode.
much.
That's true.
We say that every episode. Anyway, well, thanks for joining us today, Julie. And
Thanks for having me.
absolutely. As always, thanks for listening, everyone. My name's Jake,
I'm Paul.
and we'll see you next week.